Welcome to the clinical cookout. Cookout.
Hey y'all, Auntie Ashley, the Clinical Cookout here, and y'all know what it is. It's Friendly Neighborhood Therapist Friday. So it is my time to wrap up our theme of the week, which was to be real, authenticity. So if you watched all the content this week, the aunties gave y'all their perspectives on what it means to be authentic and what authenticity actually means. And if you watched the episode Wednesday, which I really hope you did, if you did not, please go back and hit up YouTube, Google or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. It's everywhere, y'all. We everywhere. We out here. Go hit it up and watch the episode because we really got into, how hard it is sometimes to be authentic, especially depending on what space you are in, and especially so for Black and brown people. So with that being said, because we told y'all so much about what authenticity is, I want to tell y'all what authenticity is not. So let's get into it. One, authenticity is not being 100% unfiltered. Has nothing to do with that. Because see, when you're 100% unfiltered, that means you don't care what comes out your mouth, and that's actually a problem because everything doesn't need to come out of your mouth. It has nothing to do with voicing every single opinion that you have. Some opinions need to remain solely with you, and that's not to say that you should be ashamed of an opinion you have. That's just to say it's irrelevant to give it. Like, you don't have to. But what authenticity is in that vein is making sure to stand on the ideas that are consistent with your ideals and your principles. It's about staying true to your principles. So it is not about being unfiltered and just talking and always saying the first thing that comes to your mind without actually thinking about it. Two, authenticity is not about finding yourself. So self-discovery is about finding yourself and discovering things about yourself, discovering who you are, discovering your principles, your values, all that stuff. But authenticity is not about finding yourself. Authenticity is about finding a balance between your personal and your social self, between your own feelings, thoughts, and behaviors, and the social relationships that partly make up who you are. It's that congruency. Those things should be congruent. Who you are personally should not differ from who you are socially. These things, you should never be made to feel like, I can't be myself in this space. I can't say what's on my mind about this topic. You should never feel that way. You should be able to do that in those situations. Authenticity is also not adhering to respectability politics. What is respectability politics? Well, Auntie Ashley gonna break down a word for you. So respectability politics is a strategy wherein members of a marginalized community will consciously abandon and or punish controversial aspects of their cultural political identity as a method of assimilating, achieving social mobility, and gaining the respect of the majority culture. So see, if you are adhering to respectability politics because you want to be seen a certain way, that is not being authentic. That is not being authentic because you are doing this only so people don't see you as that type of person. When you might actually not even be that type of person anyway, but you're still putting on the front. So if you got to adhere to respectability politics and that's just not who you actually are, then you're not being authentic. But authenticity is definitely not adhering to respectability politics. But on the flip side, authenticity is also not all about rejecting conformity. Sometimes a person's authentic self does conform to certain social norms, and that's fine if that's who they actually are. But if you find yourself conforming to things because you feel like that's what you have to do, this is what I have to do to succeed. This is what I have to do to be seen. This is what I have to do to be in this space and feel like I belong here. Now we're delving over into being inauthentic because you don't have to do anything but show up as yourself. You showing up as yourself will garner more success than you putting on a facade. And lastly, I just want to remind y'all, specifically to Black and brown people, yes, we live in a society where it is very hard for us to always be authentic because our authentic selves may very well not be accepted, may very well be deemed unacceptable, may very well be deemed not okay. So we often feel like I have to show up a certain way in order to be respected. That is not okay, but we cannot control the fact that we live in a world of isms. Racism, sexism, professionalism, all of the isms play a part into why we struggle to be authentic as Black and brown individuals in this country. But just know, finding spaces that you can be authentic in and having those spaces be the majority of your life is going to be very important. You might not be able to be fully authentic at work. You might not be able to, because at the end of the day, the fact that we have to code switch means that we can't be authentic. The fact that we have to present a certain way means that we can't actually be fully authentic. But know that it's more so about your principles, your values, your core beliefs, your morals, your standards, what you want in those areas, what you believe in those areas, and standing firm in them. That's what I got for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed this week's theme. And y'all, guess what? Next week's theme is all about finding your boo. We have perspectives of both the aunties, and we got some fellas for y'all. So we got some fellas on the show next week that are going to be talking about what they look for in a mate, what they have looked for in a mate, what's important to them, what is not important, all of that good stuff. So if you are single or in a relationship or married, whatever your status might be, this might be a good show for y'all to watch, because we got some male perspective on this one. So join us next week. Y'all know how it is. We start our content on Monday, so look out for it, and we hope to see y'all there. Y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of the day, and Auntie Ashley will holler at y'all later.